NBA Files on RVNTV.tv. I'm your host, Renee Washington, and to my right, I have Everett. To my left, Kwame Fisher-Jones. And we're going to talk about a lot of things going on in the league, starting off with Doc Rivers. Doc's position has now changed, and Everett, the Clippers have relieved his head coach. I'm sorry, he's still head coach, but he's no longer doing other things in the front office. So was this a good move for him now to be able to focus just as being head coach?
There's very few guys who can kind of hold that dual.
Look at him go monotone to start off the show.
I'm just telling you, there's very few guys who can hold both positions and do it effectively. Doc isn't one of those guys who's shown propensity to do that and actually achieve ultimate success. Okay, if you look at what the Celtics did when they put that whole, big three, big four together, that wasn't Doc Rivers, that was Danny Ainge. So, where has Doc orchestrated a team that's won an NBA title or even gotten to an NBA Finals? Since he's had the helm of both roles. I mean, he's got Austin Rivers there. Most people would say fringe player at best. Probably could take that money and divert it elsewhere. But he's dad, he's GM, he's going to give his son a job.
So into the Austin Rivers thing, aren't we?
I'm just calling facts. Like, listen, at the end of the day, he put a decent Clipper team together. He made them relevant, but I think he needs to focus on coaching and getting back to be that top tier elite level coach that many people held him at a high regard in when he came out of Boston.
Yeah.
I think I text this to both of you. It's always a good day when I get to rip into Chris Paul and MJ. Like I'm excited about today's show.
Rivers.
I'm excited about today's show.
The question's about Doc Rivers. Like,
first of all,
Chris Paul.
I'm going to transition to Chris Paul, but I'm excited. Everybody can't start off with you with the quiet storm voice. I go to 100 real quick.
That's fine.
Look, I think it was a good move. It goes back to Chris Paul for me. Chris Paul anchored a sinking ship there, but the owner of the Clippers made a business move. And sometimes the business move and the personal moves, it's tough to. You want to do what's best for the person, but you also have to do what's best for business. This was what was best for business because Doc needed to have less on his plate to focus on what's on there.
And he's going to have to coach now.
Well, I was about to say, and I'm excited about the Clippers. We I'm a Blake Griffin guy. You're not a Blake Griffin guy. I don't know where you sit on Blake Griffin, but I'm a huge Blake Griffin fan.
That's kind of where I'm at.
Well, you know what? You'll be by the end of the season. You'll be excited about Blake Griffin.
Is he gonna finish the season?
Yes,
because he stays hurt.
I guess he will because he won't have that annoying gnat eating away
What's that
his
to do with
legs.
getting hurt all the
Chris
time?
Paul, he now
Yes, because Chris Paul pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed, and sometimes when somebody pushes too much or is overwhelming or overbearing, and they don't have the resume to back it up, they just become annoying. And that pain or that annoying tenderness in the knees or the strain in the back becomes pulled muscles and you don't want to do it anymore. So all of that is gone. Doc is focused on coaching. Look, I'm ready to put it out on the table right now. Put it together right now. I bet the Clippers finish with a better record than the Rockets. I'm putting it out there right now because of the moves that have been made.
Lunch sounds really good.
You can have lunch and sit and bask in how right I was.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would go that far. I think it'll be interesting to see what the Clippers do without Chris Paul because he apparently has been such a big problem. So they're
pain in the ass. No.
Right? So
problem.
They're saying that
Mosquito
now
bite is a
him
problem.
be better.
Mosquito bite is a problem. Chris Paul is a pain in the ass. Everywhere he goes, think about this. You shake your head. You shake your head like I put bacon on your sandwich. Think about this. When was the last time you heard someone say that play with Chris Paul? I like Chris Paul. Wait.
People didn't like playing with Jordan.
Okay, no.
They didn't like playing with Kobe.
I didn't say give me a list of all the champions that people didn't like playing with. If I asked you that question, then that answer would have been correct.
People don't like
My
playing with
question was
Charles
quite
Barkley
simple. I did not say, and Charles Barkley is a pain in the ass and has never won a title. And everywhere
that doesn't mean that he wasn't a very good player.
It means that he was overrated, and he may have been a good player.
Overrated?
I'll say
he's
it's
top 5 power forward in NBA history. He's overrated.
And he's not top 5. I'll take Kevin Garnett, Karl Malone, Tim Duncan. Let's see, Dirk Nowitzki, and possibly, depending on how I'm feeling, I would take a Bob McAdoo over Charles Barkley. And that's just 5. We can do Dennis Rodman. We can do Bob Pettit. We can do Tim Duncan. We can do Moses Malone. Do I need to go on?
Moses Malone was a center.
No, he's a center for your argument, but he was a power forward when he played in St. Louis. Look. See how he tries to divert my attention, gets me off track? The bottom line was my question was quite simple, spoken in English. When has someone said, I enjoyed playing with Chris Paul. I'm still waiting.
Listen, Kyrie don't like playing with LeBron.
That's Everett Terry. Nothing. There's nobody.
Kyrie ever doesn't like playing with LeBron.
Nobody. His answer is nobody.
That's a great point that you make because there is that stigma of a champion.
I mean.
A champion having a certain personality trait.
Welcome back.
As being a top player. Mm-hmm. Someone that's leading a team, someone that's winning championships, And there's one champion, LeBron James, that Peter Bessie, of course, always has a lot to say about LeBron. He never holds back on LeBron. And everything going on with Kyrie and Kyrie whining that LeBron's the problem and they butt heads, or whatever the case may be. Should the Cavs really consider trading LeBron, Kwame?
Yeah, we came here first for this one.
Because I'm fine with that. But before you delve in, half of LeBron's teammates hate playing with him, and guess what? He's a champion.
Yeah, he is.
But so it doesn't matter whether he's winning or not.
Hasn't even played for a high school title. No. Chris Paul hasn't even played for a high school title. Bocce ball, badminton, the list goes on and on. Dude, 12K, he's not even making it to the Western Conference Finals. Stop mentioning him in the same breath with champions.
So going back
Let's stop doing that. I'm going to transition back. Let's stop doing that.
Sure.
There's LeBron, there's Dwayne Wade, and then there's some other dudes you want to talk about that are in that banana boat. Now, this is tough. This is serious because I know you hate LeBron, but
I don't hate LeBron. I hate his fans.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Bottom line is
because they're blind to logic.
Okay, my microphone's on. Bottom line is, do you want to be the cat that trades LeBron James?
It happens.
No, it doesn't. Everett, look.
Who traded Shaq? Who traded Shaq out of LA?
Shaq is not LeBron James.
Shaq was the most dominant player in the history of the NBA.
That's your
and
thing.
they traded him
from LA
I got Will Chamberlain
on the line. I got Will Chamberlain on the line too that disagrees with you. And the guy that traded Shaq, where's he at right now? He's at a local Walmart.
No,
okay. Where is he? Quick, where is he? Come on, Everett. He's unemployed.
Jerry West?
No, Mitch Kupchak.
Jerry West?
Mitch Kupchak.
Who was president of operations? Who signs off on it?
Mitch Kupchak. Jerry West wasn't there. Jerry West wasn't there because Jerry West never would have traded him. Mitch Kupchak and Dr. Buss. Dr. Buss was old at the time, so Mitch Kupchak traded Shaquille O'Neal and didn't get an All-Star back. So
we're not going to get fair value for a guy.
Okay, look. This is a question.
You have to trade
changing
LeBron,
the narrative.
Man. Trading, listen. If you know he's going to leave anyway for nothing, you trade him now.
I'm not trading LeBron James.
Then no.
I'm not trading. You know what I'm doing?
Then lose him for nothing and be back to putrid.
I'm fine with that because you're gonna suck whether you trade him or keep when he.
I disagree.
Look.
You can get back young talent that you can develop.
Hold on. Let's stop this conversation right
now.
Let's stop. No. Let's stop this conversation. You cannot, with a straight face, lie to our fans and say that you believe there is life after LeBron.
For Cleveland, probably not.
Okay,
for the rest of the league, absolutely.
Yes, but this is for
probably
Cleveland.
Not.
So if you're the general manager facing that, I don't mean you ride that donkey until they crack. You bring him in the office and you say, "Yo, look, I'll take a list of who you want, and I will get everybody that I can on that list. I need you to re-up. You do everything you can. You're at his house. Like one of those, the Antonio and Michael Butler commercial, where everywhere Antonio Brown went, Michael Butler was right next to him. That's what I am with LeBron James. LeBron, please don't go. I got Boys II Men singing every time he goes somewhere. Please don't go away from me. I am not losing that talent because
you're going to lose him.
That's what you believe.
Win in Cleveland.
As a LeBron guy, I am going into it as I am not going to lose you. If he leaves. If he decides to leave, it's not going to be because he didn't know that I loved him.
I do think that part of the issue is the Cavs needed to make some type of change this offseason. Something had to happen. And what you're getting from LeBron's, those hints that he wants to leave in 2000, the Sixers, the Lakers, he's going somewhere, is because the changes aren't being made.
Right.
And in order for them to be a championship caliber team and be able to beat a team like the Warriors, they need to make some sort of change. Mm-hmm. So you're making a good point in that. I think the fight is not as much to trade him, but more to try to build in this next year to keep him. And do anything you can to possibly keep him so that next year he decides, I want to stay.
But you can't. And I'm going to give you back to you in a second. But the general manager for the Cavs, and it's funny they got a brother to take that position because they're
trying to get Chauncey. And Chauncey's like, yeah, nah.
Chauncey said that he would have taken it because he tried to lie and say, this is how I knew Chauncey wasn't qualified for it. He tried to say that it was exciting because they had gotten rid of all their pieces. That's what would have made it hard to rebuild, but it would have been exciting to rebuild. You can't rebuild with the Cavs. Kyrie is a black hole. Kevin Love can't do it on his own.
He's overrated.
So,
right now. Yeah.
You know, we've talked about that.
Kevin Love's value is diminished from what he was coming out of Minnesota.
We've talked about that. I got my Kevin Hart thing going on at the bottom of this chair. I'm just swinging.
Don't worry about it. That's why he's short.
You almost made me say racial slur, please. The point is, you can't build a team around Kyrie, and if you're already on the road. Like, you can't change U-Hauls right now. You have to use LeBron James. You have to build around him. I say, look, you take Kyrie and you get Carmelo. And Peter Vesey said Carmelo's hell-bent on playing with Chris Paul. But Carmelo is smart enough to know that him and James Harden ain't going to work. And D'Antoni's not taking him back. You take Kyrie and you turn him into Carmelo Anthony and Frank Ntilikina, it had to be Frank Ntilikina because New York can't keep 2 point guards, and you roll with that. I mean, there's no other options here. Paul George isn't going to make that.
Paul George is better than Carmelo Anthony. Stop it.
No, I'm not going to give that.
Paul George is better than Carmelo Anthony.
I can't disagree with you, but I'm not agreeing with you.
Okay.
They got profound. I just can't.
So I have another question for you. Last offseason, with Cupcake, Kevin Durant, and his free agency joining the Warriors.
That's right.
The Warriors were the team of the offseason. And this offseason, it seems like it's more about LeBron. So which is more important? The team, to the NBA in terms, the team with the Warriors and everything they had going on, or LeBron as the icon of the NBA?
Well,
which movement is bigger?
I know you want to lead off with this, but this goes right exactly where I wanted to go. So I'm going to jump ahead here. So I'm going to tell you why this is a perfect question. Because last summer, Kevin Durant had a chance to go anywhere he wanted, and he chose to go to a team that not only beat him, but a team that had won 73 games and got to the NBA Finals without him. What would make him want to go there? Now, Kwame's bashed him, and he doesn't have competitive fire, and he's a B. He's a B player, not an A player. He's not an alpha. He's a beta. All these other wonderful things. But you know what? That man went there. That man went there, and he won. And you know what his number one reason for wanting to go there was? I like the way they play basketball. It's fun. It's about ball sharing. There is no ball hawk. You go to Cleveland, you feel pressure to win because LeBron is chasing titles. The Warriors aren't chasing titles. They're having fun and winning along the way. Nobody expected that year they won 73 games that they were going to come out and do that to the league. They just did it, having fun playing basketball. And without Steve Kerr for the first quarter of the season. The point I'm making is, when you as a player have to decide, do I want to go and play with a LeBron James who's going to put pressure on me, jump down my throat if his man misses an assignment and I don't slide over to cover him on defense? Or am I going to go to a team like the Warriors who's having fun, running up and down the floor, everybody's shooting threes, we're having fun, and we're going to win a title? This is the conundrum that you have of bringing talent to Cleveland. People don't want to go and play with that. LeBron's a champion, absolutely, but he's also lost in the finals too. And the pressure of him chasing Michael Jordan, who will come up later in the segment, chasing Kobe Bryant, which will come up in the segment, is something that is eating away at him, whether he says it publicly or not, because he wouldn't have this much angst about wanting Cleveland to turn itself into a Golden State Warriors, which they'll never be, because they're not going to have those pieces in place where guys are going to want to come and play with him because of his demeanor and the way he carries himself on and off the court. Floor is yours.
Mic drop.
Look, I need you to cheer a little less for him there.
I thought that was a funny little
wait a
exit.
minute.
That was a funny exit.
Look, that was beautiful. It was well said. Like I tell you every show, if you just stop at the first 10 seconds, you'd have an opportunity to be right. The further you go, the more wrong.
The more I'm right, the more you disagree, which makes me even more right.
The more wrong you are. Look, no one was. It's funny that you mentioned LeBron James and the GOATs, and when you reference the great Kobe Bryant, you need to preface it with the great Kobe.
Listen. One of my
That's
favorite
how we announced that.
The Black Mamba. Yeah.
Yes, the Warriors won a title.
2.
Yes, the Warriors run around and they play a great style of basketball.
It's fun to watch.
I call it a WNBA style of basketball because it's intelligent. It's based on fundamentals,
basic stuff.
It's things that you, as a coach, you love to see. Mm-hmm. But there's a reason why LeBron James is that dude, and there's a reason why he's the guy you go get, and Kevin Durant is the guy that goes and gets people. The bottom line is this: Kyrie is not the dude he was supposed to be.
But he
I gave you your dissertation, your diatribe, your monologue. Sir, my turn, please.
Carry on.
There's a reason why people tune in to watch LeBron James. There's a reason why they got their tissues out, their Kleenexes out, complaining when he sits. When they want to create, they're changing the schedule, giving more space to teams, starting the season earlier. I'm not done to accommodate the man we know as the king. Not Steph, the king. So when you talk about Kevin Durant going to Golden State and winning titles, LeBron builds teams. LeBron builds cities. LeBron makes banks.
He built one city.
He built Miami. What
Miami was already
you
a champion.
You can interrupt me. It doesn't make me wrong.
D-Wade already had a ring before he got there. He was already Wade County.
They still
was already Wade County.
Cable boxes weren't even going through the. They were high definition. Weren't even high definition at that time. There were no HDMI cords when Dwayne Wade won time. And Shaq was playing with a super soaker.
Wow.
I mean, dude, let's move into.
I like super.
Let's move into and I like them too. In high school, Grandpa still has his. The point is, the bigger issue is the elephant in the room is he builds championships where he goes. Kevin Durant and the Golden State Warriors, they're cute. They want to do
All right,
anything.
so the final question then, after you each give your
cut me off.
I felt like you were done.
Right.
You gave me the wrap it up B-side.
This is the final question. Real quick. Is this the end of King James' reign in the East?
No.
In the East?
In the East.
No. He'll still win the East because there's nobody else.
Next year.
Listen,
he's going to win
how
the
many
title
lunches you going to be buying by the end of this season?
I ain't buying a damn thing.
Like, you're going to owe us
We've already addressed this. I don't pay up on my bets. I just don't. If I lose,
and this is the guy that you want to take sports advice from.
Yeah, right. Because, look, if I'm not going to pay you, I know I better be right. And LeBron
He's not right.
He's good. Where am I losing you? That they're going to win a title, or that he's the greatest player?
Let me ask you a question.
No, that's what we got Renee for. That's what we got Renee for.
What logical explanation do you have that anything that Cleveland's done in the offseason now makes them better than the Golden State Warriors right now? They had him last year and couldn't win.
That's that. You bring up old stuff. I'm talking about.
And now he's a year older with more miles on his tires.
And look, and I wrote this down because I wanted to make sure.
Sure.
Every hero needs a villain, and he is our hero. He is the guy that is motivated by what everyone else does and says about him. He is wired differently. He doesn't need your pats on the back. He doesn't need your adulation. He needs you to hate him because that fuels him. The same thing that fuels the great Kobe Bryant. It's the same thing that fueled the great Shaquille O'Neal. It's the same thing that fueled Michael Jordan, even though people forget that he played in the 80s as well. When you have that behind you, I'm not saying he's going to win 8, 9, 10, 12. I'm saying next season.
8, 9, 10, 12. He's not going to win 4.
saying next season, his reign continues and he wins.
In the East, yeah. He'll be the Eastern Conference champion. He'll be the Eastern
He's
Conference
the reason why everyone's leaving the Eastern Conference. Why are they all going west? To take them on.
Listen.
He's not. They just want to go there because they like the weather because Miami all of a sudden don't exist.
Listen.
Gordon Hayward came east. Everybody else went west. Sorry, Mom. Everybody else went west.
We talking free agents or guys?
We're talking anybody. Name somebody. Name somebody.
You can't control trades.
You can't control. Get out of here, man.
Well, as one of those blind Cavs fans that is a bandwagon fan that Everett speaks so much about, we're going to cut on that. I like Kwame. I like your points. Good points. What? But we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we're going to talk about Melo. We're going to talk about the Rockets and some other things. So don't go too far. We'll be right back.
You be nice to Melo.
Most of the time, it's easy to know which option is better. Other times, not so much. So it's good to know that Mazola corn oil has 4 times more cholesterol-blocking plant sterols than olive oil. And a recent study found that it can help lower cholesterol 2 times more. Take care of those you love and cook deliciously. Mazola makes it better.
La Esperanza Mexican Restaurant and Bar, the best authentic Mexican restaurant in South Jersey. Your friends and family will enjoy the fun and the food, like our staple guacamole, tamales, and ceviche. Our weekday lunch special is just $7.99. We also offer Saturday and Sunday brunch. Enjoy the largest selection of tequilas in South Jersey, Mexican beers, bottle and draft beers, fresh margaritas, and daily beer and margarita specials. La Esperanza Mexican Restaurant and Bar, family owned and operated since 2002.
Hi, I'm Becky.
And I'm Eric.
And this is Cooked and Uncorked.
It is.
It is. And you can check us out Mondays at 10:30.
10:30 every Monday.
See you there. Got a quarter?
Hi, I'm Jim Cucinato. I'm inviting you to watch my show on the Halo Health Network on RVN. We cover everything you always wanted to know about health but was afraid to ask. We have interesting guests who can help you how to live healthier, how you can be smarter about your health, how you can help your family live healthier and be healthier. We are on Tuesdays from 9:30 Eastern Time to 10 o'clock. Please come and watch us.
If you have a story or product that you'd like to share with our viewers as a guest on the Morning Coffee Show, please contact us at info@radiovisionnetwork.com.
Today's show has been sponsored by More Than Gifts. Come see our new location in Marlton, New Jersey. Not just gifts, but more.
Files. I'm your host, Renee Washington, with Everett and Kwame Fisher-Jones. We just got into LeBron James and some more LeBron
The great
James.
LeBron James.
The LeBron James, my favorite player.
Very good LeBron
But we're
James.
going to now switch gears and talk about Carmelo Anthony. What is going on with Melo? He finally reached out and spoke to the media, and he refuses to speak to Knicks president Steve Mills, but we still haven't seen him get traded. We've heard of all these different teams that he was considering, the Cavs, the Rockets, everyone, but he's still with the Knicks. So, Kwame, what is going on?
Everett won't be nice to him. That's the first thing.
What does being nice have to do with...
It's a joke, man. Look, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what the Knicks are looking for. I don't know what they're trying to do. I know that he has the buyout. So he refuses to just go somewhere, from what we understand. Peter Vecsey says that he's hell-bent on going to Houston and playing with Chris Paul. That's a terrible move. It's a terrible
In your
fit.
opinion.
Well, no, history would agree with me. Being realistic, history would agree with me because you don't have one coach you didn't get along with on that bench. You got two. You didn't have one coach whose offensive philosophy you didn't like. You got two. You didn't have one coach who you tried to choke. You got two. And you don't have one coach that you ran out of town. Family, friends, people that hired him all got fired because of you. And now you want to go and relocate to that? Like, they're not going to sign off. There's always going to be a sticking point with him going to Houston. So at some point, and this is part of being a general manager, it's part of being a manager of personalities. At some point, you need to sit down and have a come to Jesus moment with Carmelo and say, look, give me two places you want to go realistically, and I will get that done.
Houston.
Well, but that's not realistic.
Why isn't it realistic?
Because D'Antoni doesn't want him. Look.
He's not holding up the trade.
Yes, he is.
No, he isn't.
Yes, he is.
They just gave up a haul to go and get Chris Paul. They don't have a lot of pieces left to give.
They had a deal in place. It was a 14 trade.
Right.
And D'Antoni said, I wanted a top 5 pick. That's what D'Antoni, I want a top 5 pick.
But he's not the GM. That's not his call.
Actually, it is because Daryl Morey loves to do. We'll talk about Daryl Morey a little later.
Right.
But Daryl Morey loves to do. So that's why James Harden gets paid for a contract that made absolutely no sense. They gave him a sneaker deal. 50-year contract. So look, the point I'm trying to make is I don't think anyone knows what's going on, and you can't get mad at Carmelo because he's frustrated because it's not his job to put together deals. But if Houston doesn't want him, somebody needs to step in and move on because the Knicks have a good team. They have. I'll sound crazy. Porzingis, Nicolina, and if you can add another piece, you have a good team. Not that you're not going to go out and they're not going to cut the nets down, but they have a solid young nucleus to build around.
We have Nicolina, who's done what at the NBA level so far?
He hasn't done anything. He's a rookie.
Okay, right.
He got drafted.
He got drafted. So you're basing. I mean, Anthony Bennett got drafted too. So we're gonna base
every show.
Because this is Mr. I'm Never Wrong. So we're gonna base whether or not a guy is good based on the fact that he got drafted and hasn't played a single NBA minute.
I didn't say that.
The Knicks
Hold on. How much film have you you watch? How much game footage or anything have you watched of Frank Nicolini?
Not much.
Okay.
Not much.
Proceed. For all of
But
us,
how much
all of us
game
who
from
watch
Anthony Bennett did you watch?
We're not talking about Anthony.
Oh,
I
okay.
try to change the narrative.
All I'm
We
making is
talking
a point
Cinderella,
that
you bring up Snow White.
game
We
film and
talking
draft
Cinderella,
picks
you
show
bring up
me
Snow White.
nothing.
Raise your hand if you've seen a game of Frank Nicolini. Raise your hand and keep it up if you've seen 4 or 5. Raise your hand if you watch scouting reports and watch more than the YouTube video of Frank Nicolini. Okay, my hand's up.
Does that mean that Frank Nicolini is going to come in and be the best point guard in the NBA?
Whoa, never came out of my mouth.
Okay. So all I'm saying to you,
never came out of my mouth.
He can be boom or bust. I don't go by what draft tape shows me. Okay, what I go by.
Because you're not watching it.
Listen, they thought Nerlens Noel was going to be a stud too.
Again, Snow White.
Based off of what we saw on tapes, what we said.
We're talking Snow White.
Listen, the only point I'm making, the direct correlation I'm making to you is that watching film on guys in college or overseas or wherever doesn't tell me they're going to be good. Mario Hezonja, who went to the Orlando Magic, was this highly touted kid who could score and light it up. He doesn't even start. Okay. So I'm not going to sit here and go back and forth over guys that are top picks who are supposed to be great.
In a bad situation.
I don't want to hear that. Everybody swears this kid is a lights out scorer. If you can score, you're going to play.
He can play. Mario can play. If you watch Mario can play.
How many points he averaged last year?
I think like -7.
And therein is my point. This lights out scorer can't get on the floor. On a team in Orlando that stinks.
And he's still hearing Scott Skiles in his ear and he still cries every time the name Scott comes up. I agree with you. He needs to man up. They need to drop. But the kid has talent and Nicolina has talent. Floor is yours, though.
I mean, I like Frank Nicolina. I think he can. Hold on. Let me make my point. I think he can be a good player if he develops a better jump shot and shows consistency on both ends of the floor. I don't think that makes the Knicks good now, is what you said.
Yeah,
I don't think that they're good now. I don't think that they win 40 games this year as currently constructed. Because the only thing is you're gonna have to get Jeff Hornacek to create an offense, not the triangle, which is gonna play to the strengths of the roster that he has. Mm-hmm. He don't even know if he's gonna have Melo or not, which is a huge offensive piece of his offense.
Not including Melo in his offense, he's already said that.
Okay.
So I guess the question then becomes, if you're Carmelo Anthony, do you wait for these young guys to develop, or do you go to another team like the Rockets?
Well, he's got to go to another team at this point in his career. He's never going to win if he stays in New York. He's never going to win.
It's not that easy though. And to Renee's question, the other is the issue. Do you go other? Because he can't go to you. I mean, look, I don't want to say never, because stranger things have happened. But the chips are stacked against him in Houston.
Man, if LeBron could come back after the owner bashed him publicly,
but you may not like him.
He bashed him publicly. He went back. LeBron, so I don't want to hear that you can't mend fences.
Listen, Linda, listen. You can go back home. Melo's not going back home though. He's going to a place. All right, so Dan Gilbert wrote a letter. I hate you, LeBron. Go rot in hell, okay?
And there was burning jerseys and all of that.
D'Antoni was out of the league. He got the man out of the league. Beth Lillick isn't even considered as a head coaching candidate. He ruined their life.
D'Antoni's out there making money. Is he not? Does he not have a job?
Who brought him back? Okay. The same guy that is having.
And if Daryl Morey is saying, listen, we need to get over the hump and Carmelo's the guy to do what you need to mend the fence.
But you can't say that because Carmelo hasn't gotten over the hump.
We don't know that. You're assuming that.
Listen, but again, he hasn't done that. So you're trying to sell a guy whose life he ruined. This dude, I mean, it was whispers he was going to go back to the University of South Carolina. Think about that. You went from the Western Conference Finals, two-time NBA MVP and Steve Nash.
With Phoenix.
Right. Went to, I can't even put Thornhill is their best player in South Carolina. This was ugly. This was Paris Hilton ugly too, not just simple ugly. This was like.
By the way, South Carolina made the finals.
Yeah, they did, but with the guy that they got from Kansas State, not with the guy that got ran out of the NBA. Mm-hmm. So my point is, you're just saying like, oh, get over it, hug it out, dude. He got him kicked out of the league, bro. And you know how they retread coaches.
Yeah, everybody's retread. Mike Brown's a retread.
We talked about. We're moving on. We've talked about Daryl Morey. That's a name that keeps getting tossed around. We got to keep moving here.
Right.
So Houston Rockets, Daryl Morey has been saying and making a big case, in my opinion, for why the NBA should remove all season awards. It doesn't need. They shouldn't have it anymore. It's time for it to go. Is this something that really should be considered, Everett?
I think that the award should be awarded after the playoffs. So, for instance, the And what I don't like is the fact that either A, you're going to award regular season awards at the end of the regular season, or you're going to award them at the end of the year for the entire year. What I don't like is, for instance, Russell Westbrook and James Harden. The season was over, and you wait till the end of the finals to announce who won, which was stupid. Because clearly, based on stats, there was a lot more of a conversation between who outplayed who. But then because they played head-to-head, you're not going to sell me that every single judge didn't factor in the fact that they played each other in the series.
Votes were already in.
And who played in.
Votes were already in.
So why then did you wait until after the finals to announce it? Especially when you had a 2.5-week window from the end of the conference finals to the start of the finals.
How to make some money. I don't agree.
Make money how?
I
It's
don't agree with the
stupid.
decision, but going to what Renee's question is, I wrote a bad word here because it's I'm tired of Daryl Morey. I'm tired of dudes who have no idea how to judge talent, who have to have numbers and equations make decisions for them. The NBA awards are not about you win this many games, you win. The year Dirk Nowitzki won the award, Dallas got kicked out in the first round.
Right.
Dirk Nowitzki won the MVP award, he was out in the first round. But he was the best regular season player. It's a regular season award. Now, you can make a case for James Harden, but it doesn't make your case right. When you put facts up against facts, and Russell Westbrook's list was significantly longer than James Harden's, period. So Daryl Morey's issue is they need to have a set system in place so to make the decision easy, i.e. take it out of his hands or take it out of people's hands to make a decision. But sports aren't about that. No. Sports are about instinct and feel. Right. That's why I can't stand dudes like that. That's why the Carmelos...
You're talking about analytical guys.
Not so much analytics, because there's a place for analytics. Isaiah Thomas brought analytics in when he was in when he was in Toronto, which led him to draft Marcus Camby and Tracy McGrady. There's a way to use them, but they can't be the sole decision making for you. You can't use numbers or a formula or a check sheet to go with sports. You have to have a feel for it. And that's why I think you shouldn't get rid of awards. I like having awards at the end of the year because after the finals, there's nothing to talk about. So it gives guys like us something to talk about for the next 2 weeks. And it gives NBA guys, they remain relevant. Just like the NFL draft became this whole big monster. Why is the NFL draft got to have a Monday night or Friday night fiasco to go with the first round? That's idiotic.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, but what are you talking about all the way up to and for the next few days? So you
it's all about staying in the news
cycle. And you know, I don't have a problem with that. I do have a problem with the fact that guys like Daryl Morey are held to a higher esteem than guys who have been in the league much longer. But to be honest, I like the awards the way they do it. I like the fact that they had an awards show. I wish more players would have shown up, but that is what it is.
So
but I think it'll grow.
Do you think that Daryl Morey's whole case, honestly, is because he feels like James Harden
Yes.
should have been named MVP, and he
Yes.
feels like Russell Westbrook got it because they would wait until after the playoffs and everything, and it should have been
That's my point.
James Harden.
He's butthurt. And I know I'm not supposed to use that word, but he's butthurt. Because not only did James Harden not win, but the people that voted for Russell Westbrook, they didn't have a formula for it. The year James Harden didn't win, he said, well, this team had a better record, like Steph Curry won. He felt James Harden should have won that year. So Steph Curry had a better record, so that's what he hung his hat on. I don't need to explain to you why I think this guy's better. I don't owe you. And that's this new generation thing where I need to give you 140 characters of why this works. No, there's context to Russell Westbrook's body of work. There's context to the things that he had to go through. He had a complete look. James Harden lost Dwight Howard. You love Kevin Durant. I think Kevin Durant is probably the greatest scorer next to Wilt Chamberlain to ever play in the NBA. Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, excuse me. The great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. But I definitely think Kevin Durant is in that ilk. Russell Westbrook lost him. He lost not just him, Deion Waiters. He lost Serge Ibaka. He lost starters. I agree with you. In the grand scheme of things, it's not big, but he lost every piece that he played with. It was a complete routine.
If they didn't give him other quality pieces,
they gave him a guy that got crossed over by a 9-year-old. Come on, man.
He got a
guy that got crossed over by a 9-year-old, and as soon as the video surfaced, they traded his ass.
They still had Enes Kanter. They had Steven.
They had Enes Kanter, great.
Who's emerging as a top
emerging
regarded big,
what?
As a top regarded big in the NBA. Steven Adams. He's regarded as a top big.
He plays an old school style of play,
which
I agree with
defense
you.
Rebounds.
He's a physical presence,
right?
But he is a guy who went from maybe 4th or 5th on the offense to the number 1 option.
No, Russell Westbrook's always the number 1 option.
Well, Russell Westbrook obviously the number 1 option because he has the ball. But what I'm saying is, if they're trying to run an offense, he's the number 1 guy. They're running pick and roll with him. They run a pick and roll with him essentially. So my point is, Russell dealt with more. James Harden came with a coach who'd been in the Western Conference Finals, a coach who had coached 2 times every year, and put him in a system that was tailor-made with James Harden. You knew that was going to work out. Billy Donovan, dog. Like, did you think that was
Billy Donovan the year before with Durant?
Yeah, and they had Durant though. I mean, you got to give credit to Maurice Cheeks. The point I'm trying to make, and I know Renee's giving me the let's move on big sign face, but the fact is,
you get used to it.
The fact is, look, I take my time. The point is, there has to be some sort of context to these things. You can't just add numbers to them and have a formula for it to work. Period.
All right. Well, Michael Jordan has been doing a lot of talking lately. He was talking to LeVar Ball, he's been talking about LeBron, and most recently he's been saying that Kobe is better than LeBron because he has 5 rings to his 3. He's been saying Kawhi Leonard is better than LeBron because Kawhi is a better two-way player. So MJ, coming out of I won't say quiet because he's never quiet per se, but sticking to what he's been saying. Is he right in that Kobe and Kawhi Leonard are better than LeBron?
Listen, when the great Michael Jeffrey Jordan speaks, people listen, because he doesn't speak often, okay?
The hell he doesn't.
Listen, he ripped LeVar Ball, said he could beat him one-legged. That was hilarious.
That's funny.
But this argument, I understand and respect both sides of this coin.
Who do you think is the best two-way player in the game?
Kawhi Leonard.
Okay. That's just it. So of course you side with old
But
MJ.
I've said this for how many weeks?
So
I think Kawhi Leonard is the most consistent, best two-way player in basketball because LeBron takes series games off. Kawhi brings it every single game from start minute to end minute. Now, LeBron 5, 6, 7 years ago when he was younger, didn't have the miles on his tires, he played that way. He doesn't anymore, and I understand why, because he's saving it only for the postseason. Fair. But the way that Kawhi has constantly developed and got better every year, year over year, continuing to develop, Kawhi Leonard came in with no jump shot. Now he has one of the best mid-range games in basketball and can shoot threes. But the argument I'm saying is he continues to get better. At some point sooner than later, he's going to be a better player than LeBron. In terms of Kobe being Bryant, Mr. 5-time NBA champion, as I've said from the beginning, LeBron can't go into the conversation of greatest of all time until at minimum he can meet Kobe at 5. If he meets Kobe at 5 with his resume of statistical achievements, he would be a better player because of his numbers. But when you go to the finals 7, 8 times and you're losing year after year after year, that's not impressive to me because you know what? Nobody remembers second place. Nobody remembers.
You do, because you're always touting out the second best player in the league.
Listen, nobody remembers second place. I'm talking about teams at the end of the year. Let me ask you a question. Who lost the Super Bowl 3 years ago? You don't know.
No. You're not getting off of that because you know I don't give a damn about second place. Whether second best player or second best team.
So LeBron being second place 5 times in his NBA career means nothing to me. Talk about the 3 times he won and let's build on that. I can talk about that with you. But right now, Kobe has only been second place once. Kawhi Leonard has been second place twice? No, once. Just once in his career so far.
He ain't make it though.
What you mean he ain't make it?
I do have a question though.
He didn't play in the finals. That's why.
If the argument, because a lot of people bring up the fact that LeBron, yes, he made it to the finals all these years, but he lost. But LeBron also took a Cavs team that wasn't even making the playoffs. And as soon as he comes back, they're now a team that's made the finals 3 years in a row. I know people want to talk about the fact that he had to bring Chris Bosh with his Heat. But again, he was able to take the Heat to the finals. The year after he left, what happened in the Heat?
Let's talk about that.
My question becomes when does, I get it that rings are a big deal, but does that make Bill Russell the best player to ever play?
He should be in the conversation.
He should be in the conversation.
Just stop.
But while you're talking about that, you brought up the Miami Heat, and I love when people bring the argument. Did Chris Bosh not the very next season go out with all sorts of leg blood clots and never play basketball again? Facts. He was a big piece of that big 3 and was a key cog in the reason that they won that one title that they won in Miami.
So was Ray Allen. Who was the biggest cog?
Listen.
Who was the biggest cog?
What do you mean who was the biggest cog?
The reason why they won those titles. Who was the biggest cog?
What, LeBron?
Thank you.
Okay. But the argument that I'm making to you is that you sat here and said, what happened to Miami? Well, when you go from having a big 3 to having a big 1 and an older 1 at that, you're not going to be the same team. People say, he came back to Cleveland, we're in a playoff team. Right, but he also went in, brought in Kevin Love, brought in Amon Shumpert, brought in all these other guys with him. It was like he came by himself, took a terrible roster of nothing, and said, hey, I'm going to make this team a title.
How many playoff series did Kevin Love play before he got to Cleveland?
0.
Thank you. Proceed.
But he brought Kevin Love with him is my argument.
Too short for all
Kevin Love and brought him.
Kevin Love was also injured.
Kevin Love was often injured.
often injured. And
he
here
brought,
they won.
he brought
Kyrie and Kevin Love
and he elevated. All of a sudden, Kyrie, who gets injured every single season, can now be durable.
Nah,
Kevin Love, who gets hurt all the time,
Peanut Brittle still missed the finals. We ain't scared. Look. I know you're mad at me for calling him Peanut Brittle for years, and I understand that. That's why you won't return my phone calls. But your boy is Peanut Brittle, and him dancing at weddings. I ain't gonna touch everything.
Yeah, that was shit.
I ain't gonna. But we had a Hall of Famer come up here and confirm that this man had been saying that. I gave Peanut Brittle the benefit of the doubt and said, no, Kyrie just wants to lead a team. He wants to leave a city and a championship contender team because he's tired of him. Negro, please. Now, back to the point about LeBron. There's no way in the world I can justifiably discount the great Kobe Bryant's achievement. And you know that. That's why I'm jumping around. You know I love Kobe. You know I have affinity for Kobe. 3 o'clock in the morning, this dude is in the gym. And I know, because I was there. 3 o'clock in the morning in the gym for 2 hours, a helicopter
after
to the other part of California to go walk his daughters into school, helicopter back to the gym. And we took a guy who played every game like it was his last. Now, but the whole two-way argument, here's where you lose me. Kawhi is the best two-way player when LeBron isn't on his game. You got to add that into the equation. Because if LeBron is on his game, ain't nobody talking about twisting ankles.
It's in 82 games.
Ain't nobody talking about, I know how many games in the NBA.
I don't want a guy that's only going to be on his game.
I do if it's LeBron James. Next question.
If it's 60,
I do if it's LeBron James. Next question.
All right, on that note, we actually are going to get into the Spurs when we come back from this break, and we have a special guest, so don't go far, because when we come back, we're diving in to talk about the Spurs, talking about Manu, everything Spurs. We'll be right back after this break.
Most of the time, it's easy to know which option is better. Other times, not so much. So it's good to know that Mazola corn oil has 4 times more cholesterol-blocking plant sterols than olive oil. And a recent study found that it can help lower cholesterol 2 times more. Take care of those you love and cook deliciously. Mazola makes it better.
La Esperanza Mexican Restaurant and Bar, the best authentic Mexican restaurant in South Jersey. Your friends and family will enjoy the fun and the food, like our staple guacamole, tamales, and ceviche. Our weekday lunch special is just $7.99. We also offer Saturday and Sunday brunch. Enjoy the largest selection of tequilas in South Jersey, Mexican beers, bottle and draft beers, fresh margaritas, and daily beer and margarita specials. La Esperanza Mexican Restaurant and Bar, family owned and operated since 2002.
Hi, I'm Becky.
And I'm Eric.
And this is Cooked and Uncorked.
It is.
It is. And you can check us out Mondays at 10:30.
10:30. Every Monday.
See you there. Got a quarter?
Hi, I'm Jim Cucinotta. I'm inviting you to watch my show on the Halo Health Network on RVN. We cover everything you always wanted to know about health but was afraid to ask. We have interesting guests who can help you how to live healthier, how you can be smarter about your health, how you can help your family live healthier and be healthier. We are on Tuesdays from 9:30 Eastern Time to 10 o'clock. Please come and watch us.
If you have a story or product that you'd like to share with our viewers as a guest on the Morning Coffee Show, please contact us at info@radiovisionnetwork.com.
Today's show has been sponsored by More Than Gifts. Come see our new location in Marlton, New Jersey. Not just gifts, but more.
Most of the time, it's easy to know which option is better. Other times, not so much. So it's good to know that Mazola corn oil has 4 times more cholesterol-blocking plant sterols than olive oil. And a recent study found that it can help lower cholesterol 2 times more. Take care of those you love and cook deliciously. Mazola makes it better.
La Esperanza Mexican Restaurant and Bar, the best authentic Mexican restaurant in South Jersey. Your friends and family will enjoy the fun and the food, like our staple guacamole, tamales, and ceviche. Our weekday lunch special is just $7.99. We also offer Saturday and Sunday brunch. Enjoy the largest selection of tequilas in South Jersey, Mexican beers, bottle and draft beers, fresh margaritas, and daily beer and margarita specials. La Esperanza Mexican Restaurant and Bar, family owned and operated since 2002.
Hi, I'm Becky.
And I'm Eric.
And this is Cookin' Uncorked.
It is.
It is. And you can check us out Mondays at 10:30.
10:30, every Monday.
See you there. Got a quarter?
Hi, I'm Jim Cucinotta. I'm inviting you to watch my show on the Halo Health Network on RVN. We cover everything you always wanted to know about health but was afraid to ask. We have interesting guests who can help you how to live healthier, how you can be smarter about your health, how you can help your family live healthier and be healthier. We are on Tuesdays from 9:30 Eastern Time to 10 o'clock. Please come and watch us.
If you have a story or product that you'd like to share with our viewers as a guest on the Morning Coffee Show, please contact us at info@radiovisionnetwork.com.
Today's show has been sponsored by More Than Gifts. Come see our new location in Marlton, New Jersey. Not just gifts, but more.
Most of the time, it's easy to know which option is better. Other times,
Welcome back to the Sports Break. I'm your host, Renee Washington, with Kwame Fisher-Jones, Everett Terry, and joining us from Texas, we have sports anchor from Fox 29 in San Antonio, because of course we're talking about the Spurs, and host of Locked On Spurs. That's Jeff Garcia. Jeff, welcome to the show.
Thanks for the invite, guys. Looking forward to it.
Now, Jeff, Manu Ginobili, at 40 years old, at the very last game of the season that the Spurs played last year, got a standing ovation. Everyone thought he was done, but he's not done. After 16 seasons, he's coming back. What was kind of the reasoning behind that, and are you excited to have Manu staying in San Antonio for another season?
You know what? It was in the balance. The way he walked out the court was very eerily similar to the way Tim Duncan left the court, hand up in the air, facing back at the crowd, exit the tunnel. My heart just dropped. I thought that was it for number 20. But for him to come back is great, not only for the city of San Antonio, but also for the squad, to keep that culture alive. In this roster that's so young, there's a tremendous youth movement going on in San Antonio right now. But to have that link, at least heading into next season, 1/3 of the original Big Three still playing. Tony Parker doesn't come back till mid-season. To have that connection to the past championship glory is great for the young guys like DeJounte Murray, Derek White, the rookie they drafted out of the draft this season. Of course, in the continuing development of Kawhi Leonard. So to have a guy like number 20 still wearing silver and black is tremendous, not simply just because what he provides off the bench, but that culture, the Spurs value culture. And Manu Ginobili is the Spurs culture.
Now, Jeff, this is Everett here. I know we were talking briefly before we came off a break about Kawhi being arguably one of the best two-way players in basketball. Kwame disagrees. I agree with you in the fact that he is. Michael Jordan also seems to think that Kawhi is a better player at this point in his career than LeBron. Give me your feedback on how you feel about the two in terms of comparison, and also how is Kawhi and his rehab going so far?
First off, and I don't know if you all talked about this already, in the initial debate, but Kawhi is a Jordan brand guy.
Yeah.
He's not going to go out. Jordan's not going to go out there and say, no, Klay Thompson is the best two-way player, or LBJ is. No, that's his guy. He has to pump up perhaps his number one marketable face of his brand right now. That would be the Jordan brand. So, bias aside, I can't disagree with the great Air Jordan.
There it is.
About arguably the greatest player in NBA history. Here preaching that Kawhi Leonard is the best. And you look at what the debate has spiraled into. Obviously, LeBron versus Kawhi being the two main guys as far as who are the best two-way players in the league right now. Yeah, LeBron James has been playing a lot more years over Kawhi Leonard. But in the shorter period of time that Kawhi Leonard has played in the NBA, going into his 7th season, I believe, he's already back-to-back Defensive Player of the Years. LeBron hasn't even won it once. He's so great defensively, then where's the hardware on that end? And he's played longer years in the NBA over Kawhi. Statistically, they're neck and neck. You look at just the net ratings and defensive rating last year for Kawhi was 104. LeBron was 107 defensively. Offensive rating, LeBron gets him there, 114 to Kawhi's 112. So they're right there. It's a great fodder for debate. But when you look at the defensive side, obviously, in my opinion, Kawhi takes it.
All right, Jeff.
Sorry, defensively. Offensively, that's where the edge goes slightly to LeBron. Now, Kawhi hasn't led a team single-handedly yet to an NBA Finals. I think you got to factor that in as far as having an impact on both ends of the court to carry him to the promised land.
What happened when Kawhi was supposed to do that this year, too,
The statement
Jeff?
was simply just who is the better two-way player. That's it. Then you got to go Kawhi Leonard.
There it is.
All right, Jeff. I've been jumping in here and jumping out of my seat. Couple things here. Now, before we go touting the great Michael Jordan, last I checked, Michael Jordan drafted Adam Morrison. So his basketball acumen should be questioned. His playability, no, but his acumen should be questioned. Second part, as far as the Defensive Player of the Year award goes, look, I can't make that argument for LeBron. There were times I felt that he was definitely a viable candidate, but Dwight Howard won that award multiple times, and at that time, I would say Dwight Howard would be the better player. Kawhi Leonard does benefit from not having to play in the center-ravaged league. However, moving along here, you mentioned DeJounte Murray. I'm high on DeJounte Murray, very high on him. What's been the focus for him going into the offseason, and what do you guys expect? What can the Spurs expect from him going into the season?
Well, they're handing him the reins heading into next season. He is the logical choice to take over the point guard spot while Tony Parker still rehabs it. And just a quick update, he has been looking like he's on the fast track to coming back earlier than expected. But as far as Murray is concerned, they got to run with him. I mean, Patty Mills, when he was slotted into the starting lineup last season in the postseason, didn't really fare that well. He was playing out of his position and his comfort zone, that being off the bench and being a spark plug. You took away that edge for him, if you will, that role that he had off the bench, and he had to become more of a facilitator as far as an offensive production. Then you got the rookie, Derek White. He's obviously not going to be ready, especially playing under Popovich's system, where he reins in a lot of rookies fast and quick, unless your name is Kawhi Leonard. But and then you got Parker, who's on the shelf, and then you have a Bryn Forbes, who looked tremendous in the Summer League, but that's just Summer League. We'll have to see against real NBA competition, leaving DeJounte Murray. Now, Murray has been in the offseason working hard. He's been updating all his social media accounts, showing that he's in the gym. That's great, and I love it, and it's great. I hope he continues doing that. But when the ball's in the air and he has to go on as a starting point guard against a Westbrook, against a Chris Paul, who's now in their division, and the list goes on, Kyrie Irving, wherever he lands, that's the starting guy. He has to bring it on both ends of the court, defensively and offensively. He has shown flashes that he can be great, solid. We saw what he did last season in the overtime win at Cleveland against LeBron James Cavs. They got the win led by a rookie, DeJounte Murray. His ceiling is high. I expect him to have a better season. I'm not having a breakout season, but a better season next season. And it's on him now. They whiffed on Chris Paul. He went to Houston, leaving Murray still. So all eyes are on young man DM.
I like how you talk about him as a rookie stepping up. We're actually going to transition a little bit into the rest of the league and some guys that are a little older. Dirk Nowitzki, Kevin Durant, in their prime, between the two of them, who are you taking? KD or Dirk?
I'm taking Dirk.
Oh. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh.
Yes, sir.
Listen, Jeff, I was with you so right there. Oh, man.
I had the opportunity to witness Dirk in his prime playing against my Spurs in those awesome Mavs Spurs clashes in the postseason. He was nearly unstoppable. That step back fadeaway that Kevin Durant adopted from his game was just incredible. The way he took over games for Dallas, especially against the Spurs, in the Western Conference Finals a few years ago when the Spurs were at their peak. Yet here comes a Nowitzki-led Mavericks team to topple the Spurs in San Antonio. That was a great thing to see. And I also look at this too, maybe numbers aside, but I also give just the intangibles to Dirk, in particular the loyalty. Like he stuck with one team, with Dallas. He didn't go bouncing around, at least jumping ship the way Kevin Durant did. Dirk Nowitzki proved that he could lead a team to the NBA Finals and win it.
Yep.
With the minimal help, less help than Durant has right now. And Durant is just on a mega team. Mm-hmm. You compare Dirk's prime and the teams he was surrounded versus Kevin Durant's prime and the team he was surrounded with.
Yes, sir.
Obviously Durant has a lot more heavy firepower than Dirk did. But yet Dirk took a less mega superstar team to the finals and won it. So I give the edge to Dirk.
And Dirk, let me just piggyback off of that, just to be emphatic here. Dirk beat Tim Duncan, Chris Webber. He beat a much loaded Western Conference team. Kevin Durant couldn't even overcome Memphis at some points in his career.
Because he had a machine gun and Russell Westbrook.
It wasn't a question.
Dirk wouldn't win with him either.
And
Brown wouldn't win with him either.
What Dirk Nowitzki did for not just players, but for EuroLeague players. Dirk Nowitzki carried a state. Texas hasn't been known as a basketball hotbed. San Antonio was good.
I was about to say, San
Antonio's good, but there have been laps. They haven't. I don't think San Antonio's ever won a back-to-back title. Correct me if I'm wrong there.
Dallas ain't won a back-to-back title.
But in that lapse, Dallas won. My point was, and my final point is this: Dirk also has a business acumen. Dirk got $20 million last year. Kevin Durant is taking less money, hurting a union.
We back to this again from 3 weeks ago.
It's a point.
Let me, if I can chime in real quick.
Dirk did the same thing too.
Let me chime in real quick because I understand that you guys are pro Dirk. Okay, so Kevin Durant's a 4-time scoring champion.
So
how many finals has Dirk won? 1. How many has Kevin Durant won? 1. How many finals MVP does Dirk have? 1. How many does Kevin Durant have? 1. Who's the better scorer between the two?
Dirk.
Stop it.
Dirk.
Kevin Durant's a 4-time scoring champion. How many times has Dirk won the scoring championship? There are things.
How many rebounds does Kevin Durant give you? Dirk Nowitzki is a more complete player. He's a better rebounder and he's a better
7 feet tall. He should be a better
Kevin Durant is 7'19". Kevin Durant is 7'19". He's 7'2" with a 19-inch wingspan.
And can drop to the rim and dunk on you off the dribble and guard everybody.
And Dirk can do all of those things. Dirk can grab a rebound.
Dirk's never put the ball on the floor and ran a fast break by himself.
Correct me if I'm wrong. He sealed in San Antonio. He sealed the deal on a dunk going to the rim over the great Tim Duncan.
All right. We're going to end on that point. Jeff, thank you for joining us on our show today. It was nice to
over Manu Ginobili as well.
Thank you.
Oh,
Jeff,
you're killing me.
Jeff. Thank you for joining us on our show today. Kwame, Everett, obviously you guys can keep going on forever, but we are at the end of our show. In their prime, who knows?
We know Dirk. Say it. Say it. Come on, say it.
I'm a big Dirk and Dirk fan, so I don't know. But Thank you guys for joining us.
I really appreciate it.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes. You can always watch more of NBA Files on RVNTV.tv. We're here every Saturday, and you can always catch more of this fun arguing going back and forth, or debating, I should say. I'm Renee Washington with Everett, Terry, Kwame Fisher-Jones, and we'll see you next time.